Super useful iPhone tips, part 1. We all know iPhones can't zoom in very far when taking a photo unless you use like Snapchat or Instagram or something, but there is a way to do it. In settings, go into accessibility and then click on magnifier and turn it on. Now either you triple press the home button or the lock button and it will launch the magnifier. You can just take your photo and it will be really zoomed in, and then to save it all you have to do is screenshot. How to use your iPhone without even touching the screen. It's actually super simple, so go into settings, then go down to accessibility, and then scroll down to voice control. Now when you turn this on, a little blue microphone will appear at the top left, and now you can say stuff like, go home, open TikTok, swipe right. You can even say, lock screen. Super useful iPhone tips, part 3, keyboard edition. Here are some really cool gestures. So if you're typing something and then you accidentally delete it, you can use 3 fingers, swipe to the left and it will undo. If you want to copy something, use 3 fingers again and pinch the screen. And then to paste, use 3 fingers again and pinch out. I'm going to show you some really useful iPhone tips, part 4. So the first one is for when you're typing in any app. If you hold down on the spacebar, it works as a trackpad so you can go back to a word you might have made a mistake on and get rid of it. Next, if you hold down on the globe in the keyboard and then move it to the left or to the right, it will nudge your keyboard in that direction so you can use it with one hand. This is really useful if your phone is really big. Next is to stop taking photos of notes and documents with your camera because it just doesn't look good. Instead, hold down on the Notes app, click Scan Document, and scan it this way. This makes your notes look so much better. Part 5. When you're using the calculator and you're doing a calculation and then you accidentally make a mistake when typing, you don't need to restart the whole thing. Instead, just swipe to the left on the number and it gets rid of it, and then just replace it with what you needed. If you have Face ID on your phone, you can actually set up an alternative appearance, meaning that you can add somebody else's face to your phone. This is good if you want to give someone else access. Lastly, if you're on the latest update of iOS, you can probably do this. If you hold down on any app, it actually gives you shortcuts on some really common features and useful things that app can do. It's really cool. Super useful iPhone tips, part 6. So this is really cool. I'm going to show you how to do text shortcuts. So you're going to go into settings, general, and then keyboard, and then text replacement. Now you add something. So you add a phrase of something you say a lot. So I'm going to write in my username for my TikTok. Now I'm going to write a shortcut which is just going to be user. So now when you type in the shortcut, the phrase will come up instead. Really cool. Super useful iPhone tips, part 7. Number 1, when you press and hold on an app and then drag it to move it around to rearrange your home screen, you can actually tap on other apps and it will group them together so you can move multiple apps at once. When you're wanting to connect to a Wi-Fi network from the control center, you can actually press and hold on the Wi-Fi icon and it will show you all of the available networks. And then also, it works with the Bluetooth as well. Really cool. Part 8. When you take a screenshot on your phone, you don't actually need to click into it to share. Instead, just hold down on the little icon and then you can share it instantly. When you take a screenshot and then you click into it to mark it up or whatever, if you need to take more screenshots of something similar, you can just swipe up from the bottom, hold it, go to whatever you need to take a screenshot of next, screenshot, click back in, and edit it. You can do this over and over to keep all your screenshots together. Part 9. So when using the Mail app, sometimes you don't want to click into an email to read it. You might already know what it says. So you can actually just swipe to the right all the way and it will mark it as read. You can do the same thing to mark it as unread. If you swipe all the way to the left, it will archive the message. You can swipe half to the left and then you can flag the message. Pretty cool. While writing an email, you can swipe down from the top. This lets you look at your other emails, and then when you're done, just tap on new message and it will jump you right back in. You can change it so your phone doesn't say sent from my iPhone at the end of every email. Go into your settings, go down to mail, and then go down to signature, and then you can change it from sent from my iPhone to your name or whatever you want it to be. Super useful iPhone tips, part 10. So most people know this, but you can actually make it so when somebody sends you a text message, they cannot see whether or not you've read it. In settings, simply go down to messages and then turn off send read receipts. Now people won't know if you've seen their message. Another cool thing you can do in settings is to show subject field. This lets you add subjects to your messages if you need to be a little bit more formal.